It is my honor to present 12-year-old cellist Liana Ulichanyan performing the Dance of the Sassoon.
Bravo, that was magnificent. Thank you, Liana.
That was beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the gala that we've all awaited for so long. It's been a while.
Sure.
I'm Roxy Carpadian. I'm an anchor on Fox 11's Good Day LA, and it is an honor to be with all of you tonight. Welcome officially to the 19th Annual COAF Holiday Gala, Building a Nation. Liana is an example of the potential in Hayastan, the bright, the talented youth, and she is an example of someone who represents the future. The future being so important right now because, like many of you, I think our hearts and minds are in Armenia at this moment with what they're dealing with currently. So the future is something that I feel we are all responsible for, and we all can do our part to ensure that people like Liana have a bright and opportunistic future as we move forward.
Let's hope so, Araxia Jan. In case some of you don't know me, I'm Haik Boyajian, Head of Development at COAF. Thank you for joining us, everyone, for one of the most celebrated charity events in the Armenian diaspora tonight. It's lovely having you all with us.
It is, and once again, Haik, it is an honor to be your co-host this evening.
An honor for me.
The last time I actually stood up on this stage was back in 2019. Do you remember life before COVID? It was before the pandemic, and it's so exciting to be back here with all of you in this beautiful, one-of-a-kind venue. Sure. And to be actually back in New York City. In fact, this is my first flight on an airplane since 2019. So I know.
Applause.
It's quite I feel very accomplished. I remember fondly what an incredible evening it was, and I have no doubt tonight that we are actually going to recreate that. I even have a feeling we might top the evening.
I think so, Araxia.
Because it's our first time in person together again, and that is certainly something we have to celebrate. After a 2-year hiatus, we are live in person together. And we certainly learned to adapt. If you've been following COAF, as I'm sure many of you have, we did a number of virtual galas. Somehow we became co-hosts in the process,
yes,
which has been quite wonderful. And the point is, we did these virtual galas because despite the fact there was a pandemic and the world seemed to stop, the work of COAF continues. No matter what's happening, it is something that we keep moving forward. So we can't leave out the supporters, of course, of tonight's event from all around the world. It's not just us here tonight. We would also like to let you know that we are broadcasting tonight's gala for COAF's third televised fundraiser on US Armenia and ARTN television networks.
Yes, so viewers around the world, hello and welcome to you. And thank you to all of you for supporting COAF over the last 2 years. As Araxia said, we really went into uncharted territory with these virtual pandemics on television, and we winged it. And I think we rocked it, right, Araxia? I think so. Do you guys think we rocked it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So we've never actually been on stage together at one of these. So it's
a formal.
Yeah.
Yes, a formal gathering.
I'm super excited. She insisted that I accompany her tonight, so that's why I'm here.
Can't do it without you.
Yes. So as Araxia said, the pandemic did not stop COAF. It emboldened us, giving us a renewed sense of purpose, especially with what's going on right now in Armenia. So never has it been more critical to ensure access to resources and opportunities essential to reaching Armenia's youth with their full potential and to become the catalyst of change for our homeland. You were there for us then, you're here with us tonight, and you have my heartfelt gratitude.
As you know, COAF provides resources to children and adults through these COAF Smart Centers, these SMART initiatives. The goal is to advance rural communities through these initiatives. So if you're wondering, how is COAF leading the way, in case you still don't know, let us show you. Take a look at the pillars this organization has actually been built upon. It is through these programs, through the innovative approach, that COAF is helping to literally build a nation.
Where do you see the future of Armenia? We see it in its young people. Ensuring a prosperous Armenia will require empowering the young through education, to instill into them the values and intellectual curiosity needed to innovate, advance, and address the challenges of their nation and the world. COAF's educational programs start at the preschool level and continue through primary school, college, and adult education. Our child and family centers, called CFCs, address critical aspects of child development, from early childhood education and mental health to family and social well-being. In addition to developing children's school readiness, CFCs prepare them for their educational journey at the COAF Smart Center. Located in Armenia's Lori province, the Smart Center is a beacon of educational excellence, delivering forward-thinking and innovative smart citizenry certification. The SMART educational model offers village youth access to a wide spectrum of after-school programs that foster their academic, emotional, and psychomotor development. Program graduates are provided access to a lifetime of career development opportunities, including scholarships, internships, mentoring programs, and job training. COAF Smart programs have spread far and wide, reaching over 10,000 students across 5 regions in Armenia. With the upcoming openings of more smart centers throughout Armenia and Artsakh, COAF will be able to create generations of smart citizens whose actions can shape the future of Armenia and the world. The foundation of a strong and flourishing society requires good health. Starting early, COAF teaches children the importance of healthy nutrition and dental hygiene and engages them in physical activities to promote healthy habits. COAF offers free of charge medical and dental services across 45 communities to improve the overall health of rural populations in Armenia. In parallel, COAF implements large-scale capacity building to support local healthcare providers with continuing hands-on education and collaboration to address knowledge gaps and improve doctor-patient communication. In an effort to take health programs to a new level of excellence, COAF's new state-of-the-art regional health center in Armenia's Lori region will be operational in 2023. The center will provide health services to 16 rural communities. Another critical piece of nation building is bolstering local economies and ensuring sustained professional opportunities to make Armenia globally competitive and help stem the tide of migration. COAF's economic development initiatives combat two crucial barriers to prosperity. One, poor infrastructure that impacts all aspects of life in Armenia's rural regions. And two, a lack of access to lucrative markets and growth opportunities. Throughout the past 19 years, COAF has renovated and built over 180 new infrastructure across 36 communities, as well as supported scores of local businesses. COAF's Smart Village model offers highly targeted, holistic solutions by addressing economic and social needs one village at a time. In 2021, COAF selected Debet as its pilot smart village. To address the existential risk of emigration, COAF programs have stopped the population decline with growing employment, quality healthcare, education, and governance. Today, over 70% of families in Debet have been impacted by at least one COAF program. Through these large-scale initiatives in education, health, psychosocial services, and economic development, COAF empowers smart citizens to utilize the resources and opportunities provided to them to shape the future of their communities for the better. Join our movement today and support us in building a strong and resilient Armenia.
How about that? That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Except
Building a resilient Armenia, right?
Yes, yes. COAF has made a smart promise to all who live in rural Armenia and to all of you who believe in the importance of empowering the youth in Armenia. You are really the key in building the strength in that nation, and I hope you really believe that, because without all of you, it would be impossible to do any of this, any of it. So the promise of high-quality education, the resources for the youth, connecting to COAF's wider health and social services, new jobs, economic growth for local communities, there's so much. Vocational training and cutting-edge practices across a variety of fields.
You know, a lot of people ask, what is it exactly that COAF does? I don't get it. And hopefully that video explained to you the breadth of what we do in Armenia for these kids. They're all progressive programs aimed at getting these kids to become the catalyst of change and reach their full potential. And that is the smart promise that COAF is making to this young generation by providing them groundbreaking programs, and the goal is to spread it throughout Armenia, in every province of Armenia.
So they say the third time's the charm. We've done these two virtual galas together, which was fun.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience. It was interesting. I'm just happy we're doing it now like this. But speaking of charm, I want all of you to put your hands together and welcome COAF's Global Executive Director, Ara Barsam.
Thank you so much. Good evening. I'm grateful, very grateful to be with you here tonight and in the company of guests who have joined us from all over the country and indeed from all over the world. I'd like to start by recognizing a couple of distinguished guests this evening. So if I could ask you to please join me in extending a warm welcome to California State Assembly member Adrien Nazarian. And I'd also like to extend a very warm COAF welcome to Reverend Father Harac Sarkisian. From St. Gregory's Nodic Church in Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you so much. I just want to share that I joined COAF about 1.5 years ago in the summer of 2021. And since that time, I've personally witnessed a remarkable period of progress that the team has made. And I'd like this evening just to share a few highlights with you to give a sense of how we're making good on the promise to all of you to help drive Armenia's progress. Let me start with Lori. As many of you know, Lori is home to our Smart Center campus. And in this campus, we serve thousands and thousands of rural youth and rural families with access to new educational opportunities and access to social and economic development programs. On this campus in Lori, in 2022 alone, we've seen two important developments. The first has been the construction of a world-class conference center, which we're very proud to be opening this coming summer in 2023. The second is a regional health clinic, which is dear to COAF's mission of providing healthcare access and high-quality care to thousands of rural beneficiaries. Next, I'll turn your attention to the province of Armavir. Armavir, as you may know, is home to where COAF started its work some 19 years ago in rural Armenia. Thanks to your generous support, which was kicked off at last year's Gala, Armavir will soon be home to COAF's second Smart Campus. And after an architectural competition saw 74 outstanding submissions from 23 countries, COAF selected the world-renowned Spanish architect Alberto Campo Baeza to design the next Smart Center. It's truly outstanding. We're also very proud to have opened 2 more child and family centers, one in Armenia and one, we're proud to say, in Artsakh. These centers are critical in providing preschool education, as well as psychological services, social work services, and speech therapy services to children and their families from those communities. And let me say, there's much, much more. There's a new visitor information center to drive tourism. There's a new school to raise the quality of public education. There's a beekeeping farm to drive honey production sales. There's a new dairy farm that's providing hundreds of small farmers a chance to develop new cheeses and new economic opportunities. More jobs, more economic growth, better and expanded health care, thousands and thousands of beneficiaries who have received COAF services thanks to all of you. I have to say, COAF is delivering truly on the promise of building the Armenian nation, and I'm grateful to all of you, truly grateful for your support here this evening. I wish you a wonderful and magical gala. Thank you.
Thank you, Ara. There is astounding, monumental work happening right now in Armenia. And as Ara said, COAF is making good on its promise to all Armenians in building a nation. And without your support, without your generous support, none of that would be possible. So we would like to take a moment right now, if you don't mind, and thank some of our incredible sponsors.
Yes, we need silence because Araxia gets really upset. Okay.
See, you've learned over the years.
Yes, I've learned. You've taught me well.
First of all, our Save a Generation sponsors. Thank you to the Euregion Family Charitable Foundation, JHM Charitable Foundation, and Vahe Fatal Foundation.
And our platinum sponsors this evening, Aline and Paul Griffin, Angelica Egikian and Alexander Yesayan from Armenia.
Our gold sponsors, thank you, Aline and oh, there we go.
Don't get too jumpy.
I know, I got excited. Nora Terzak Hampar Charitable Trust, Juther Saryan, and Victor Zarugian, and the Star Foundation.
Our silver sponsors this evening, Howard and Kathy Atisian from Michigan. Gap International from Philadelphia. Healthbird. I haven't met you yet tonight. Say hi afterwards. I love you guys. Shake and Vahe Nahabedian. Mardikian Foundation from Michigan. Dr. John Sarayderian of New Jersey. And Smead Capital Management. Why don't we name these two?
Okay.
Bronze level, I'm gonna do it. Armenia Tree Project.
Okay. Natalie and Gregory Amerikanian.
Nadine and Haig Aryan.
Sarah Nagadi and Shant Babikian.
Biotech Value Advisors.
Nazareth and Nila Vestikjian Family Foundation.
Nina and Rafi Fastakjan.
Andrea Monta Albano and Diron Jebedjian. Did I get that? Okay.
This is good practice for Araxia, by the way. Mona and Rafi Khorozian.
Gina and Paul Kinsella.
Haig and Hilda Manjikian.
Christine and Shant Mardirosyan.
Michael Merjan.
Kirigos Eric Murakakosyo. Wow.
I didn't realize this portion was going to be so fun, actually, with all the cheer. I love it.
You're like really putting me on the
Ellen
spot.
and Louis Najarian.
Claudia and Levo Nazarian.
Stephen G. and Regina Oswald Foundation.
Gail and George Saradarian. Wow. You didn't tell me that was happening,
I
and
know,
I
I
like
want-
to prepare.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
It's okay.
I mean, I liked it.
I like
but
doing that to
I
her.
apologize if I mispronounced anyone's
No,
name.
there's more surprises in store tonight,
Oh, great.
Araxia Jan. We truly couldn't do this without all of you and your generosity. These are all pre-pledges that we received this evening. And when it's time for the auction tonight, there's going to be more names, obviously, on the screen. So thank you
That
to all of
hike
you.
will read. Right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, so you're in for a real treat this evening for the next performance, all the way from Armenia, okay? This 13-year-old, already a laureate of numerous competition and awards. He has performed with national orchestras, which is impressive, Armenia and abroad. His lifelong dream, though, is to become a famous violinist, and as COAF does, he's so cute.
I know.
We can hope to make his dream come true. I would like all of you to give a very warm welcome to
David
Babayan.
Babayan from Hayastan.
Bravo, David. Bravo. You know, David is, as well as Liana, are the products of a wonderful lady who is now, I'd say, close to 90 years old. And she used to come to these events, but only in the last couple of years she's refrained. She has done a phenomenal job of developing young talent. So welcome, everybody. This is a very emotional evening, actually. We haven't done this in person, as Araxia said, for the last couple of years. It's wonderful to see you. Even though because of lighting, I can't see anybody where I stand here, it's still wonderful to see you. Thank you very much. A long-standing tradition for us has been our annual galas to recognize and honor humanitarian work of someone in our community. And a lot of them are very shy. They like to be anonymous. But we really are grateful to Peter and his lovely wife. And so the Sarkissians have accepted our philanthropic honor this year. They started their efforts in 2009 when the Ajemian Foundation requested that they do something for the good of Armenia. And so we're very, very grateful for that, very grateful. And I'd like to invite them actually to the stage, if they could come and accept the honor. Thank you very much.
We're honored and humbled and very appreciative. I'm going to give you a little background on how I found COAF. And I guess I can start with the Ajemian Foundation was...
Did you find or Marilyn did?
No, actually, Peter did. Gerard Libridian, the head of Armenian Studies at the University of Michigan, after I asked him for some good information, and I had done some research on various organizations, where could I make an impact? So he suggested I look at this relatively young organization, COAF. So I called COAF and left my number, and a couple of days later I got a call from Garo, which I was pleased to hear, and we had several conversations over the course of maybe a month, and I started to hear about his programs and what they were doing and the honesty of the whole thing. And so I told him I was going to be coming to New York over Easter, and he said, well, I'll meet you there. And he said, I'll be there. As it turns out, we were there on Easter Sunday. He met us at St. Barton's Church. I thought he lived in New York. He flew in from, where, Boston or Maine?
Yes, it was Boston.
On Easter Sunday to meet us. I thought that was pretty exceptional. So from that time on, we've been friends. We went to Armenia a couple years later. And we met Haig. Where's Haig? That's where Haig started showing us all of the projects close up and all the plans for the future, including the Smart Center. From there, we went back a couple more times and we saw more and more of the development of what they had done. And I was impressed every single time. So my overall take on this is, I'm honored, we are honored, we're pleased to be here, but the thing that this does for me, and I guess for Marilyn, is it's really, I'm honored to be able to participate with you. And I'm honored to be able to do something in the way of the growth and the education and the health of these rural communities and these children for the benefit of their families. The thing about COAF is it's all about teaching these families and these children how to improve themselves. It's not a handout, it's an educational thing. And that's what it's been all along, and that's what I liked about it. So my thanks is to Garo and Alice and Haig and all of the COAF team in Armenia and here who've done this wonderful thing and given us the opportunity to participate in this growth. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter and Marilyn. And thank you very much for bringing your families into the COAF family as well. We appreciate that very much.
And I also want to thank all of my Michigan friends and family and New York family for coming here year after year and supporting this with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Araxia, please.
Thank you. It's actually quite funny that he said that because I was looking for my husband earlier in the evening and I said, I'm looking for my husband, and your son Sam said, many people here are. So that is so perfect.
And wives as well.
And wives
of
as
course.
well, yes.
Thank you.
So
It's your show.
thank you so much. Garo, actually, since I have you here, we're going to go off script for a moment. I just want to thank you. I really want to thank you for you and Hike inviting me on this journey. It means so much to me, and I do so many events, which I love, and it's wonderful to be part of the Armenian American community, but COAF really holds a special place in my heart, and I know how much it means to you and the passion you have for this organization, and it is because of people that like you that really make a change in this world. So thank you for being who you are.
Thank you very much, Araxia. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for being our friend.
Thank you. I am thrilled to bring out our next guest, proud of his Armenian heritage. He actually made his performing debut as a piano prodigy with the San Francisco Symphony. He was just 11 years old. Think of what you were doing when you were 11. I wasn't doing much. So, after graduating from the Juilliard School in New York, he embarked on a career as a concert pianist, appearing with major symphonies and orchestras throughout the world. He is currently the music director and principal conductor of the New York City Opera, 4-time Grammy-nominated conductor. He has been called a singer's dream collaborator by Opera News. And we tonight are thrilled to welcome this evening Maestro Constantine Orbelian.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to introduce our next performer here from Spain. Currently, he's on a world tour, and he will appear live at Carnegie Hall, don't miss it, on the 20th of December, just a couple of days from now. He is undoubtedly one of the most talented and expressive violinists of our generation, and a dear supporter of COAF. So please welcome the award-winning, world-renowned violinist, Ara Malikian.
Hi. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting COAF. Thank you for COAF for helping all Armenians, children, Armenian people. As you know, where they are when Armenia is in trouble, the first ones who will suffer always, so they are the children. So we need to help the children. This piece we played was called Burj Hamud. I am from Burj Hamud. I left Burj Hamud when I was 15 years old. I went to Germany. When I arrived in Germany, it was quite difficult time for me because I arrived there without my parents, without knowing anybody, without knowing the culture, the country. So at that time, the next piece we're going to play has something to do with this history I'm going to tell you, because one day I went to a concert in Germany, and in the break of the concert, I was waiting for the second part of the concert, and I was waiting with my violin case. And suddenly a lady came to speak to me, and she started talking to me very gently, very smiley. And after she talked to me, she asked me something. And as I wouldn't understand absolutely nothing in German, so I thought I will use the only word in German which I knew, which was saying yes, yeah. So I said yes to this lady. So when I said yes, she got really excited, and she asked me another question. And as my first yes has worked quite well, I said another yes. And after the second yes, she was so excited that she called another friend that she had nearby, and her friend also asked me something, and I started saying yes to everybody. Everybody was there around. I thought, Germany is quite cool. You only have to say yes to everybody and everything goes well. So I was going to go back to my seat so that we can continue the second part of the concert, and suddenly came to speak to me another gentleman, which he was there, and he asked me if, apart of speaking that well German, I was able to speak another language a bit better. I said that I manage French a bit better, so he started translating in French all the conversation with this lady. He told me that this lady at the beginning, she told me that she had the feeling that I had the look of a Jewish young violinist. She asked me if I was Jewish. I said, yes. So she asked me if I knew Jewish music. I said, yes, of course, of course. And she asked me if I could have time to go and play for the wedding of her daughter next Sunday. So apparently I have all organized to go play for the wedding of the lady, of the daughter of this lady. So when I realized the misunderstanding, I really got frightened. I went immediately to my apartment. I started making my luggage so that I can flew from the country. And when I got out of my apartment, I came across with a neighbor I had, and my neighbor told me, Ara, where are you going? So stressed, so with your luggage and with violin and everything. And I told him all the story, all the misunderstanding, and my neighbors told me, Ara, if you go now, it will be a disaster because these poor people, they are waiting for you to marry their daughter, and you're going to turn them down, and it will be a disaster. Don't do that. So the best thing you can do, you go to the wedding, you play at the wedding, and after the wedding, you tell them that you are Jewish, and they will understand there is no big deal about it. I thought my neighbor is quite an optimistic person, so I listened to him. I went to the wedding, I played at the wedding, and I even married the couple. And after the wedding, when everybody was so happy, I thought now is the ideal moment to tell them that at the end, I wasn't that Jewish as they thought. So I was just about to tell them, and another gentleman came and asked me if I had time to go play for the wedding of his son next Sunday. So I thought, what shall I do? Shall I tell him the truth or not? And then I thought, it's not a big deal, one more week or one less week. So I'll go play for the wedding of the son of this gentleman next week, and next week I'll tell them the truth. And besides, they paid me quite well, so I needed the money. So I went to play at the wedding of the son of this gentleman, and also I went to play during 4 years all the Jewish wedding in the Jewish community of. Well, I told you all this story to tell you that during these 4 years, I used to go a lot in the Jewish community. I used to listen a lot of music, and one day I made up a tune which they liked it, so I had to tell them that it's the original tune from a Jewish village from the east of Romania. It was from the east of my apartment, obviously. And since they liked it, since then, I always played in my repertoire. So now we're going to play this piece, which is like half Jewish, half Armenian, half Lebanese, half a bit of everything. So it's, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer, world-renowned cellist. At age 13, he was the youngest graduate of the Royal Conservatory in Brussels. He's been touring the world, always keeping his homeland in his heart. All the way from Armenia, please welcome to the stage, Sevak Avanesyan.
Sevakcan, Shachnagaltsun. Shachnagaltsun. What a moving performance, as you saw above you on the screen. That was Sevak performing a piece by Komidas, the exact same piece of what was left of the cathedral in Shushi during the 2020 war in Artsakh. So thank you, Sevak, for the symbolic musical tribute that touched our hearts, and it is etched in our hearts and our memories. Another round of applause, and Sevak is going to grace us with a second piece this evening.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Sevak Avanesyan. Accompanied on piano by Nara Avedisyan, who was also up here earlier on piano with both our child musicians from Armenia. Thank you so much, and you can catch Sevak at Lincoln Center this week. We have two amazing talents in town. Ara Malikian at Carnegie and Sevak Avanesyan at Lincoln Center. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful performance. Are you guys ready for the big guns? It's that time of the night, guys. I'd like to introduce you all to somebody everybody knows, our fearless founder, Garo Armen.
They always tell me what to do and how to do it.
Yeah,
So
I
thank
do.
you, Mike. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, on an evening like this, we're, of course, want to have a good time. But we also have to acknowledge the fact that we have serious business to do. And that serious business, as the title for this year's event implies, saving a nation. So I will talk to you a little bit about the steps that we need to take to save a nation. Now, every day, there are good fortunes that take place all around the world, and we want to have more of them, certainly for the good of humanity. And of course, there are also horrible tragedies that take place every day, all around the world. And when those tragedies hit home, they hit us the hardest. So each one of these tragedies come with their own despair and sadness. And about 2 years ago, one of those tragedies started hitting home and hit us hard. One of our young boys, COAF boys, his name is Rudy Garibian. He was one of the superstars of our Smart Center, and you can see his picture here. He was the first graduate of our Smart Center, and he was full of life. He had big dreams. We knew him intimately. We knew his family. And one day, in October 2020, we got the news that he was killed. And of course, it was devastating, devastating. And Rudik was one of the 5,000 Armenians who were killed in the unprovoked attacks by Azerbaijan in the so-called 44-day war. But we all know this was not a war. In the way it looked and felt, it was genocide all over again. In fact, what is happening in Artsakh this past week, when they cut off the entire gas supply to over 100,000 inhabitants of Artsakh, Armenians living there, it appeared like it was another attempted genocide. Now, of course, the international community heard our voices, and because of them, things were restored back again. But we don't know when it will start all over. I'm not telling you all of this to sadden you, but simply to remind you of the stark realities we face as we sit here today. We lost more than 5,000 young Armenians due to unprovoked killings in Artsakh. The world did not seem to know, and hence they didn't seem to care. And of course, that's another stark reality of humanity, and it's very difficult for us to make sense of all of this. Now, unfortunately, we face another reality. And the question is, no matter how hard we work, how much money we deploy, can we save Armenia and Armenians in Armenia? It's a big question mark. And it's a question mark that we must attempt to, of course, do everything we can to save the people of Armenia. If we don't, it'd be very hard to explain it to our ancestors that we're able to save Armenia and Armenians over a 3,000-year history. So the bottom line is, if we don't give up, and we work hard and we work smart, and importantly, this is very important, that we work together, we can continue to achieve the kind of remarkable things that are needed to save Armenia and the Armenians of Armenia. Of course, we need wins, and I'm not talking about wins in the context of a war. A win for us is to prevail, to allow Armenians of Armenia to live in peace and harmony. COAF has achieved, as you could see so far in the documentaries that you've seen, some stunning outcomes over a 19-year period. And as my colleagues said, my team members, it's all about doing this in the villages of Armenia. When Alice and I started working in Armenia, it became apparent to us that the villages were the most ignored. And yet, there was enormous talent in the villages of Armenia. And of course, doing one thing at a time would be wonderful, building a school, building a church. But it became clear to us that the problems were so fundamental that we needed to do it in a very holistic, comprehensive fashion. So we do all of this by empowering people to change the future of Armenia's next generation. With our commitment to Rudik's family and friends and others who were spared and will work hard to build a better Armenia and a better world, we need to show them our commitment. And what we're doing tonight is a big part of that. We need to show them that they will not be abandoned in their quest to be important contributors to advancing their country. It is this hope and drive which brings us together. COAF has been building a nation for almost 2 decades now. And that is with the help of all of you. All of you. That's critical. So I thank so many of you on this journey for being with us. Our core mission is, again, empowering Armenians, empowering generations of Armenians to help catalyze change in order to create a generation of winners. We need winners desperately. That's what we need, and that's what we're doing. And these winners will safeguard our people and our country. Empowerment is the cornerstone. It's been the cornerstone from day one. In fact, Peter, our honoree tonight, was telling me that was one of the things that drove us together. Empowering our children, our youth, our people, this is the only scalable, sustainable method that we know to save a nation in dire straits today. This is not over-dramatizing. This is the reality. So what has COAF done since inception? It has touched the lives of more than 100,000 people. And the results have been stunning. They've been brilliant. Our team of nearly 200 in Armenia and the US have been working day and night. Thank you, Team COAF, and thank you all who are here, and thank you all for all corners of the world for your gifts and your support, and your rooting for us to deliver more wins and more wins and more wins, all for our people. And when I talk about our people, by the way, we are the people of the world. If people ignore us, if they forget about us, then we lose the ability to help others who are in positions of disadvantage. Now, COAF has earned its stripes in delivering brilliant outcomes. And this has become evident because just recently, we've become the partner of choice for some of the major agencies, including the EU. EU has committed 200, I'm sorry, well, maybe that's a Freudian slip. I was almost going to say 200 million, but it's only 20 million. It's still a significant amount of money. So 20 million for us to build the next 2 COAF Smart Centers in Munich. Now, Munich is a particularly vulnerable area of Armenia. It is the southernmost tip, and it's surrounded by Turkey, and it's surrounded by Azerbaijan. And as recently as 3 months ago, you may have read, there were some articles written about this in the US press, few in Europe, articles even in Israel, Russia, and Ukraine, about the fact that scores of our soldiers were lined up without any arms and cowardly shot in the back. Shot in the back. And of course, when we heard this, this was another devastation for us. But one of the most devastating outcomes was a young Armenian female soldier, a young mother, was raped and mutilated. And the videos of this were taken by Azerbaijani soldiers, shown on their social media proudly as an accomplishment. Now, of course, all of this means that if we succumb to things that are unacceptable to us, then we're basically succumbing to an admission to the world that Armenians don't mean anything, and we can't do that. We have to fight hard to overcome that. And so what we do with empowering our people, our young and the old alike, they're the only ones that will save advance Armenia. My friends and fellow citizens of the world, not just Armenia, this is the only way I know to ensure wins. A winning Armenia will help us all be worthy of our beautiful world. A world of people who respect and create conditions to keep our environment safe and clean. A world of people who provide opportunities to prosper and innovate. A world in which we provide opportunities for peaceful existence for all, regardless of race, color, religion, gender, and personal choices. That's the world we want, and that's the world Armenia and Armenian people are ready to participate in. I thank every one of you who are on this journey with us. Some years ago, I had a request from an elderly lady who wanted to come and visit me in the office. So of course I said yes. And she came with a check. I don't remember if it was $20 or $50, but it doesn't really matter. She said, COAF is doing God's work. She said, please continue and don't stop. I wish I could give you millions, she said, but this is all I could afford. And of course, I hugged her and we cried together. So that is the spirit that we want to enforce. That is the spirit. The truth is, I am embarrassed to say this, but the truth is, we need billions, not just millions. If we're going to scale our achievements and transform our current reality, who else but us to ensure Armenia's people, Armenians in Armenia and the world, to build this world's greater future? We even aspire to do this for the universe if we can. It's all about doing good. So a special thank you for all of you in attendance this evening and all around the world. The world of Armenians or not, it doesn't matter. They're all our brothers and sisters. The changers of the world are the ones that are going to ensure a better future for all, not just for Armenia, but for every citizen of the world. You are our friends and benefactors from Louisville, from Chicago, from Los Angeles, from San Francisco, from Michigan, from New York and Boston and New Jersey, from Florida, from Yerevan, Armenia. And I'm sorry that I haven't mentioned every single city, state, and country, but I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I also thank our tireless COAF team. They work day and night. Thank you very much. A number of them are here tonight. Thank you, Ara Malakian, our wonderful violinist that was jumping all around the stage and amongst you. Sevak Avanesian, who played the cello in the church that was bombed in Sushi. And our Araxia. Araxia, thank you very much. And you'll meet Gabriel Buchu during the auction. I ask you to stay and participate in that auction. He does a wonderful job. He's an Armenian by osmosis. And you'll see visually that he looks like an Armenian as well. So also our wonderful star children, Anna, Liana, David, and Arthur. You haven't met Anna yet, but you will momentarily. And David the same. Well, you have met David, but you will meet Arthur. You are all tonight's stars, and you are the stars of tomorrow. To all of you, again, here and from all corners of the world, we love you. Please enjoy the rest of the evening, a wonderful evening of giving and building some wonderful things to achieve stunning outcomes. And please remember that having invested $70 million over 19 years, we're just embarking on the biggest chapter of our journey, a journey for Armenia to be on the team to create a stunning world for all. Thank you very much. And our Araxia. Are you going to introduce the next video, Araxia?
I am.
All
I'm
right.
going to do that.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you. At times when I think we feel sometimes helpless, I know for myself, personally speaking, I feel that way tonight. And I also have to admit that I feel a bit of guilt being in this beautiful venue, dressed up, having amazing food and great company. But for myself speaking, my heart and mind is in Armenia always. And even before I came here tonight, I was putting a piece together that we plan to air tomorrow on Fox 11 regarding the current situation in Armenia. So, I feel always this balancing act and difficulty in moving forward and doing all the work that we do here amongst ourselves with COAF, yet at the same time we have the reality of what's happening currently in Armenia, and it's the battle of the good and evil, and in the end, who's going to win? And it become very draining, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But we can do only what we can do, and we can do our best. And so, despite feeling that sense of guilt, I think being here tonight, we're still able to contribute to the future of the children of Armenia, and they are the future. So let us work towards that here tonight. Thank you, Garo, for your leadership and your vision over the years. A crisis, as you said, can present countless challenges. At the same time, it can present many, many opportunities. And it's about COAF's unique approach that really can help empower the younger generation, change the mindset, make them feel like they are ready to deal with anything despite the shock and the trauma of whatever situation. And we don't have to go that far to think of the recent situations. Filmmaker and friend of COAF, Art Simon, interviewed some young women who are COAF students, and they really have changed their mindset to go beyond the crisis and to find the opportunity and to really pursue their potential and to bring about change that is necessary in Armenia through reaching that potential. I would like for you all to take a look.
Իրականում միջև COAF-ը իմ համար աշխարհը այսպես ոչինչ չէի տեսել, ոչինչ չգիտեի։
Եվ մենք սովորում էինք շատ վատ պայմաններով դպրոցում։
Իմ ամենամեծ խնդիրը այդ ամաչկորությունն էր։
Չունեինք սխալվելու իրավունք։
Վախենում էի ելույթ ունենալու։
Եվ նույնիսկ չգիտեի ինչպես են կարծիք արտահայտում։
Կարծում էի, որ ես ոչինչի ընդունակ չեմ, ես ոչինչ չեմ կարող անել։
Ինձ համար շատ անհավանական էր թվում այդ համալսարան ընդունվելը։
Երբ COAF-ը մուտք գործեց մեր համայնք, բոլորս շատ զարմացած էինք։
Բազմապիսի ծրագրերի եմ մասնակցել COAF-ից։
Կար կարծիք արտահայտելու իրավունք։
Մթնոլորտ էր ստեղծում, որտեղ ոչ մեկ չէր վախենում ինչ-որ հարց տար։
Սենց տրանսֆորմացիա եղավ իմ մոտ, կաշկանդվածությունս վերացավ։
COAF-ի բերած փոփոխությունները տեսնելուց հետո շատ երազանքներ, նպատակներ են դառնում։
Ես Շիրվանյան Լյուդմիլան եմ։
Ես Վաննան եմ։
Ես Նանեն եմ։
Ես Այվիկ Սարգսյանն եմ։
Ես Լաուրա Եսյանն եմ, COAF շրջանավարտ եմ։
Ընդհանրապես փոքր համայնքների մեջ այդ մտածելակերպը կա, որ ոչ ման հնարավոր չի անել այստեղ, որովհետև սաղ վատա, այսինչ երկիր է, այստեղ ոչ ման չես փոխի։
Ու մենք ասում ենք, դե լավ, նման մենակ բողոքել է։ Ուրիշ բան չեն կարող անել։
Իմ գյուղում շատ են տղամարդիկ, որոնք գնում են արտագնա աշխատանքի։
Հայրիկս հիմնականում Ռուսաստանում է աշխատում։ Ծնված ժամանակվանից կարելի ասել այդպես է եղել։ Իհարկե դե կարոտելն է դժվար։
Հայաստանում բազմաթիվ խնդիրներ եմ տեսնում։ Կրթությունը շատ միջի մակարդակի վրա է գտնվում Հայաստանում։
Ամենաշատը ինձ անհանգստացնում է այս պատերազմի հետ կապված պահը։
Ես կորցեցի իմ մտերիմ ընկերներից մեկին, Արթուրին։
Իմ ընտանիքը կորուստ էր կրել, եղբայրս զոհվեց։
Մեր դպրոցից մի տղա էր զոհվել, ու ես իրան հիշում եմ ոնց է մեկի հետ ֆուտբոլ խաղում։
ամեն առավոտյան երբ արթնանում եմ, միանգամից հեռախոսս եմ ստուգում։
Մենք սահմանին ենք գտնվում, ամեն վայրկյան կարող է կրակոցներ լինել։
Այս շատ վախեցնող է ու անհանգստացնող։
Այդ պահին հանգիստ չես կարողանում գտնես ոչ մի տեղ։
Իմ մեջ ամեն ինչ անելու ցանկությունը մարել էր։ Չէի ցանկանում ոչ սովորել, ոչ աշխատել։
Բոլոր երազանքները ու նպատակները անհնար է թվում դրանք արդեն, որովհետև այս պահին ուղղակի մտածում ես ոնց ողջ մնալ։
Այդ ամեն ինչը հաղթահարելը շատ բարդ է։
Հետո հայտնվեց COAF-ը այդ կետում էլի, թևերը փռեց հրեշտակի նման։
Կարողացել են մեզ համոզել, որ տխրելով եւ ոչինչ չանելով ոչ մի լուծում չեն կարող տալ։
Երբ որ ես ասում եմ, ես չեմ ուզում շարունակել այդ ամեն ինչին, ասում եմ, դու կարող ես, դու ես փոփոխություն բերողը, դու պիտի անես։
COAF-ի ծրագրերը, յոգան ու մեդիտացիան ինձ համար ոնց որ գործիքներ են, ինչով որ ես հաղթահարում եմ ստրեսը ու վախերը։ Ամենամեծ նպատակս դա յոգայի ուսուցչուհի դառնալն է։ COAF-ը ինձ օգնեց ընդունվել համալսարան։ Նաև COAF-ը տրամադրում է կրթաթոշակներ, որը որ այդ միջոցով կարողանամ սովորել։ Իմ նպատակը այն է, որ կարողանամ ֆինանսապես անկախ դառնալ, ապահովել իմ ընտանիքին, որ հայրիկս արդեն կարիք չունենա գնալու ուրիշ երկիր, այնտեղ աշխատելու։
Երազել եմ, որ ինչ որ կգա մի օր, որ ես ոչ թե աշակերտի դերում կլինեմ, այլ կլինեմ ուսուցչի դերում։ COAF-ի աջակցությամբ եկել է այդ օրը, հիմա ես արդեն ուսուցչի դերում եմ։ Այ հաղորդակցման նպատակը երեխեք հիմնականում տեղեկատվություն փոխանցելն է։ Աշխատում եմ Շենիկում, որը COAF-ի հովանավորման գյուղերից մեկն է։ Այնտեղ դասավանդում եմ ստարտափների ու բիզնեսների մասին կրթական ծրագիր, ու ես ինձ ապահով եմ զգում իմ համայնքում դրական փոփոխություն բերելով։
Մասնակցելով COAF-ի ծրագրերին, սկսեցի արդեն կարծիք արտահայտել, եւ երբ մի օր գնացի դպրոց եւ տեսա այդ շատ սովորական անձրևաջրերը դասարանում, միանգամից հանեցի հեռախոսս եւ նկարեցի։ Facebook-ում մի գրառում արեցի դպրոցի մասին եւ նկարներ գցեցի, որտեղ անձրևաջրերից լճակներ էին գոյացել եւ երեխաները նավակներ էին պատրաստել։ Եվ երբ առավոտյան գնացի դպրոց, իզարմանս ինձ շատ մեծ արձագանքներ ունեցա, մարզպետարանից են անգամ արձագանքել եւ նույնիսկ շատ լրատվականներից եկան լուսաբանեցին դա եւ իզարմանս ինձ մի քանի ամիս հետո փոխվեց տանիքը, հիմա այլևս երեխաները սովորում են, որտեղ անձրևաջրեր չեն լցվում։ Ու ամենահաճելին այն էր, որ երբ ինձ փողոցում տեսնում էին, ասում էին բարև հերոս, ես ինձ իրոք կարևոր էի զգում ու հասկացա, որ ուզում եմ լրագրող դառնալ, որպեսզի հնարավորություններ ունենամ բարձրաձայնելու համայնքային խնդիրների մասին, եւ այժմ սովորում եմ լրագրության ֆակուլտետում։
COAF-ը մեզ սովորեցրեց ոնց կարելի է մի քիչ ավելի բաց մտածել։
Ես որոշեցի, որ ես կինոթատրոն եմ ուզում, քանի որ կինոներն այլ շատ եմ սիրում ու նաև լսել էի, որ մեր մոտ առաջ կինոթատրոն ա եղել։ Ես ասեցի դա իմ ընկերուհուն ու որոշեցինք երկուսով, որ ուրեմն սրանից հետո ստեղծում ենք կինոթատրոն։
Պարզ մենք ուղղակի գումար չունեինք, որ պրոյեկտորը, այդ դինամիկները, էկրանը առնենք։
Որոշեցինք դիմել մեր մոտի կամավորին, որը կարող էր գրանտ գրի, այդ գրանտը գրեցինք,
շահեցինք, պրոյեկտորը գնեցինք, էկրանը գնեցինք, հիմա ասում ենք լավ, հիմա ոնց պետք է աշխատացնենք
ու գտել ենք մարդկանց, իրանց տվել ենք տոմսեր, ասում ենք պետք է գնանք, պետք է սաղին ասեք,
փոստերներ էինք սարքել համայնքի տարբեր մասերում փակցրել,
որոշել ենք, որ մենք պետք է անենք դաշտում, որ բացօթյալ լինի,
առաջ օրն էր կինոթատրոնի բացման, ամեն ինչը այդ օրը թարս գնաց,
այնին եկավ կարկուտ, այսինքն կարկուտերն այսքան,
որ տեսանք ինչքան մարդ է հրապարակում հավաքվել, ուղղակի շշմեցինք,
պանիկայի մեջ ենք, լույսերը կտրում են այդ ընթացքում։
Այդ ամեն ինչից կես ժամ առաջ լույսերը նորից տվեցին,
հետո մենք որոշեցինք, որ այդ ամեն ինչը պետք է տանենք մշակույթի տուն։
Ամեն պահի ինչ որ բանից վախենում էինք, հանկարծ ինչ որ չանցնի պրոյեկտի վրա, հենց դեմով,
ու մեր մի ռեակցիան հենց նայում ես գոհեն գողշեն։
Այդ ամեն ինչ երբ որ ավարտվեց, ուղղակի լացում էինք ուրախությունից, բոլորը այսպես մոտիկանում էին, մեզ գրկում, ասում են երեխեք ջան ապրեք։
Տասնյակից ավել ցուցադրություն են կարել, մարդիկ ոչ թե ուրախ էին, այլ իսկ իրար մեջ ոնց որ հանգստություններ, երջանիկ էի, իրականում։
Այս ինչ կատարվեց քոնի շնոր։
Երբ որ տեսնում ես, որ մարդիկ կամ ոչ որ մեկին կորցրել են, բայց քալս են ուրախ են ու երջանիկ ես զգում։
Հիմա ոչինչ, նույնիսկ պատերազմը չի կարող խանգարել ինձ։
Ինչքան էլ կորուստները ծանր են լինում, ամեն դեպքում կարողանալ դրանից առաջ անցնել, որովհետև փոփոխությունը ինձնից է սկսվում։ Ես պետք եմ այս երկրին, պետք եմ մարդկանց։
Ես վստահ եմ, որ մենք ունենալու ենք շատ ուժեղ Հայաստան։
Շատ շնորհակալ եմ COAF-ից իմ երազանքին հասնելու համար,
որ սովորեցրեցին մեզ հավատալ մեր ուժերին։
Ուրախ եմ շատ։
Մերսի։
I'm going to get off script for a second.
That's the best. Get off script.
It's about giving these kids hope, even at times of hardship, and showing them that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And what I saw was the fact that for the last 19 years, we've been doing everything we can to put smiles on these kids' faces, but I'm seeing the older kids now putting smiles on younger kids' faces in the theater, and it warms my heart because that's what ultimately we're trying to do at COAF, is instill that in the new generation of Armenia. So, yeah, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done. So the next portion of the program is so important because no matter how many videos we watch, no matter how many testimonials you hear, there's nothing more powerful than hearing it straight from the children's mouth. And today with us, we've got two high school students from our villages in Armenia. One of them is Ana Rafaelian from the village of Lanjik in the Shirak region of Armenia, just south of Gyumri. And the other is Artur Simonian from a village very dear to my heart, Arteni, in the Aragotsutan region of Armenia. Cyril Neres, please welcome on stage Artur and Anna. I'm taking you into the world of Artur and Anna right now. So, Bari Ekeken. So you're both high schoolers. Tell me a little bit about what you're both up to nowadays, Arthur.
Yes, we're both high schoolers. I am a 12th grader who has learned English thanks to COAF. So here I am tonight, proudly speaking with you all in English.
Anna, what about you?
Actually, I've been living in Iowa for past few months, where I'm participating in one-year study abroad program FLAGS.
Do we have anybody else from Iowa in the room?
No,
I think we got to send.
Next year.
Next year,
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah.
All right.
Anna, why don't you tell us what changed for you after COAF arrived in your village?
COAF brought many amazing programs to our villages, allowing us to grow and discover many incredible opportunities, one of which was Access Program, which is a joint program with the U.S. Embassy in Yerevan, and it has the purpose to teach rural kids English. And yes, of course, learning English nowadays is like a gate to the world and an incredible adventure we could have never dreamed of.
Arthur, what about for you?
Well, in addition to learning English, my village friends and I were given access to after-school clubs in science, technology, engineering, math, sports, arts, entrepreneurship, and startups.
So, you know, the 2020 war in Artsakh, or what I would like to call an attack more than a war, has affected every Armenian, regardless of age, location. How has that experience informed you about how you think about your futures? Let's start with you, Arthur.
So, even with COAF by our side, today's Armenia is faced with numerous challenges. The 2020 war in Artsakh and the more recent invasion in 2022 affected us all, regardless of our age, gender, or location. So, you know, like, we experienced and are still experiencing tremendous stress and uncertainty. I myself started appreciating the present. I started appreciating every moment. I am always hopeful for a better tomorrow by appreciating the now, today. I never take it for granted and don't think of it as something given.
It truly pains me to hear about the stress and uncertainty that you experience. And I have to say that most of us in this room would hope that your generation in Armenia doesn't experience that sort of trauma that so many generations before you did. And anyways, how about you, Anna? Let's hear from you on this topic.
Yes, so actually I was also very stressed about all this situation, and I used to feel very powerless thinking about our brothers, cousins, and friends standing on the border, because I thought I couldn't do anything or change anything about the situation. But believe it or not, even without standing on the border, we all have the power to do something for Armenia and to change something. I, as an exchange student, am trying to talk about my country as much as I can to make people hear and learn about Armenia. Because it doesn't matter if it's small in size, and it doesn't matter if it's not rich in natural resources, because in the end, it doesn't make Armenia less important, and it doesn't make lives of Armenians less precious.
That was beautifully said. Thank you. Anna, what was the most, I guess, valuable lesson that you think you've learned from being involved with COAF?
Well, I guess that would be, COAF actually showed us our potential, and we understood that we're more than we thought we were, and that we have a lot more to present to this world, and we have a lot more that we can do.
Arthur John?
And before you speak, let's just wait until we have everyone's full attention.
Are you
please.
guys bored?
I know how it's, by the way, your English is amazing. You guys are amazing. It is not easy to speak in public. Trust me. It's taken me 10 and a half years to be somewhat comfortable in doing this. So you both are amazing individuals. So I want to make sure that we give you our full attention. Now, tell us about your experience with COAF and what has changed for you.
It is important to try our best and study hard to become successful so that we strengthen our country. Our generation is the one who's going to face this situation next. And knowing this, we should work smart and be strong and united to stop this, to protect our country. So here is one more reason we love COAF. It gives us the opportunity to get that education. It teaches us to find the ways to turn the impossible into possible.
Yes, I can totally agree with Artur, because education is our way of fighting. And we want to call on all of you to find your own way to fight and to help us fight to protect our country. And also today, I and Artur and all the youth from back home, we really want to say thank you to all of you for staying with us even during these hard times when Armenia is faced with this crisis and instability. We really want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Anna and Artur, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We're so happy you're here with us tonight. By the way, this is Artur's first time in United States, in New York. You're having a good time?
Yes, to be honest, it is really amazing here. I never experienced such thing in my whole life.
I love that. And you're in Iowa, right, Anna? How's that going in Iowa?
Actually, it's very amazing that I can learn about all this, everything, differences between American culture and Armenian culture. And I'm like trying to learn everything good about America to take it back home and like to make my country just as gorgeous and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you so much. I'm honestly truly inspirational, and
You can stay. It's okay.
yeah,
you don't
you
have
can
to
stay
leave.
with
You can
us.
stay.
You guys, come on. Arax and I are tired of each other at this point in the night. Yeah. Okay.
So this is an example
I can't. Sorry, I'm gonna.
of two people, just two people. But think of the countless other, many more. Yes, many, many more. The future of Armenia, you're witnessing right here. Example with Anna, Artur, our talented musicians, Liana, David, of course. I saw him a moment ago. Really inspiring and just gives you hope. And I think sometimes hope is what we need.
Yeah. Thank you. You're our pride and joy. Thank you, both of you. I can't even imagine at your age speaking in a language that's not my first language and being on stage in front of 425 people in a country that's foreign to me. So bravo, bravo, bravo. I know I couldn't do it. I can't do it at this age. Okay, so on that note, yeah.
You can go. It's okay. You're off the hook.
You're off the
Thank
hook.
you. I know.
So ladies and gentlemen, now more than ever, support and generosity will inspire hope and contribute to a better quality of life in rural Armenia through our innovative and life-changing 4-pillar programs you heard about earlier today: education, health, social services, and economic development. Help us take the smart next steps in building what our founder earlier said, a nation that we are all proud of, that is strong and resilient.
If 2020 was a year of devastating grief and loss, then 2021 is the year of fast and deliberate healing. COAF mobilized existing partners and built new ones through multiple channels. We leveraged international support to launch critical post-war stabilization efforts, ranging from emergency aid and housing for displaced families to a veteran employment program, as well as psychosocial support for people affected by the Artsakh War. We reached out to our community of supporters who answered the call of their homeland without hesitation, reiterating their commitment to advancing the future of Armenia's most fragile communities. One of these communities is Debet Village. Debet is where we piloted our Smart Village project in 2021. This new model embodies the most important attitude underpinning COAF, which is that every community is a piece of a larger puzzle for pursuing genuine change in rural Armenia. In only 1 year, Debet went from being a community facing depopulation to a capital of radical change. We have fully renovated the community's municipality building, asphalted the surrounding roads, installed energy-saving streetlights, repaired the roofs of 6 family homes, established a community playground, and built a new bus stop. Debet is also home to the first COAF Smart Center, a regional non-formal education hub that serves children from 27 communities. The Smart Center allows students access to a variety of educational pathways, supporting the continuing development of rural children at every stage of their lives, starting with early childhood through to adulthood. In 2021, over 150 children of preschool age participated in COAF's child development program offered at the Smart Center. Alongside providing early childhood education, the program critically addresses barriers to education, including mental health and social issues. Recognizing the transformational impact of these efforts, COAF opened its first Child and Family Center in Armavir's Hatsik village. Currently, the new facility addresses the educational, mental, and social needs of 4 communities. Meanwhile, the Smart Center welcomed over 1,500 young people to a broad range of after-school programs, comprehensively promoting children's academic, emotional, and practical skills. Traveling from the northern Lori region to the countryside of West Armenia, our educational programs reached over 1,000 children from 10 communities across the Armavir and Aragatsotan regions. 2020 has also confronted us with the sobering reality that time is a luxury that we don't have, prompting us to accelerate the pace of our actions like never before. We expanded our Smart Campus in Lori, creating a large web of social enterprises around our Smart Center. This tilt towards socially motivated businesses allowed us to boost local employment and tourism economies while safeguarding a sustainable financial support system for our community development programs. Alongside running a profitable boutique hotel, we have launched the extensive upgrade of our visitor center to increase the scale and quality of tourism services. We are also advancing fast in our construction of a conference center designed to offer a modern setting for professional events in Lori's countryside. Confronted with the poor state of healthcare institutions in Armenia, we also launched construction on a new regional health center in Lori's Deseg village, delivering quality community healthcare to 16 villages. Echoing the milestones achieved in 2021, we are determined to press on with innovative and forward-looking measures to shape a better future for Armenia and Artsakh.
Hello, this is Haig Boyajan from COAF. Thank you for joining us. I just got back to Los Angeles from New York, where I co-hosted our 19th annual holiday gala with Arakça Karapetyan. And what an evening it was. We had over 450 guests come together to raise $6 million for the children of Armenia. The work COAF does never stops, and every dollar counts. So tonight, I'm asking you to make your own donation in support of our work, because now is the time. Every gift, no matter what the size, makes a difference. So please join us and donate today. Our youth in villages across Armenia are counting on us, are counting on you, and I can tell you that you can count on us to do what we can to empower Armenia's next bright generation. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We've moved mountains together in 2020. We called home our kids at home last year, and here we are building a nation tonight. It cannot be done with each and every one of you. So thank you. We all have a play to roll in building in Armenia. You have our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation. We love you. We've got one short 1-minute video, and then you guys can party. Please take a look at the well wishes from our kids in Armenia for you all this holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ուզում եմ պատերազմ չլի ու մենք ուրախ ապրենք։ Ուզում եմ սաղ երեքեքը մամայի, պապայի հետ լինեմ։ Ես սպասում եմ, որ դպրոց գնամ։ Ուզում եմ ժպտանք ու սիրենք իրար։ Ես ուզում եմ միշտ իրար օգնենք։ Ես ուզում եմ, որ բոլորը լավ սովորեն։ Հայաստանը ուզում եմ ուժեղ լինի։ Ուզում եմ, որ բոլոր հիվանդները առողջանան։ Ուզում եմ բոլոր երեխաները սմարտ ունենան։ Ուզում եմ երեխաները ուրախ լինեն։ Շնորհավոր նոր տարի եւ սուրբ ծնունդ։ Շնորհավոր նոր տարի։ Շնորհավոր նոր տարի սուրբ ծնունդ։ Շնորհավոր նոր տարի։ Շնորհավոր նոր տարի եւ սուրբ ծնունդ։